video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha in 212 cities, 23 countries around the world. Let's enter into today's satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, 5th verse.
Uddharetatmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha.
Uttaredatmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Before even giving the translation, I wanted to say a few words about this verse, this sloka. This is one of my most favorite verse. If I have to pick up just 10 verses from the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita as the essence of Bhagavad Gita, I'll pick up this one verse in that 10. If I am asked to pick up, reduce the 10 to 5, just in 5, give the essence of Bhagavad Gita, even then I'll keep this verse. If I am asked to pick up only 2, even then I'll keep this verse. If I am asked to pick up only one verse as the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita, I'll say this is the verse. Whoever writes this verse 1008 times and sends it to me, I'll give one Bhagavad Gita copy with my autograph. Whoever, but of course, you need to collect it from Bidadi or Tiruvannamalai, wherever. Bring your handwritten copy of this verse 1008 times and collect one Bhagavad Gita of my autographed copy. And all the disciples understand, even if it takes 1 week or 10 days, don't miss. Sit and write this verse 1008 times in your book of art. I tell you, this one verse can lead you to enlightenment. It can save you from all the sufferings, from all the troubles. Uttared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. I tell you, this is the one verse I have repeated maximum number of times in Bhagavad Gita. Next to this only I would have repeated Yogaha Karmasu Kauchalam. But this is one of the best line. Uttared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. God. Just for this one verse, Krishna is worthy of being worshipped as Bhagavan. Just for this one verse. Everything else Krishna gave is a bonus. In this one verse, he has proved he is God. No, never in this precise way such a powerful tool to enlightenment can be given. Listen to the translation. raise yourself by yourself. Do not let down yourself by yourself. It is the self that gives respect to the self, and it is the self that deceives the self. Uttared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva riburatmanaha. Understand? In all religions, when a master leaves the body, all disciples stand around and ask, please tell us the last secret you are having. In the same way, in all religions, when normal human beings die, all the family and friends stands around and ask, if you have last secrets, reveal. Now in Catholic tradition, there is a tradition. The biggest lie with which you lived, you have to confess to the priest and ask for the forgiveness. Only then you can peacefully die. In many religions, it is there. The last moment of death is the moment you face truth. That is why in Sanskrit we have same word for truth and death, both. Yamaha. Yama. Yama means death and truth. That's the moment you face the truth of life. Before his death, the biggest lies with which they lived, they reveal. Normal human beings, they reveal the biggest lies with which they lived. Enlightened beings, they reveal biggest truth with which they lived. Understand? Enlightened beings sometimes do not reveal the truth when they are alive, because you may not be able to digest. The greatest truth sometimes may not be palatable for you. I tell you, even in Akashic reading, Kalabhairava is filtering. Because the instrument which he is using, this body, needs to be protected. Otherwise he will tell everything you have done, what will you do? And you get into the anger mode, and very difficult to handle the anger of these human beings. And when they get into especially suicidal mood, they can easily destroy. Understand? When one being gets into the mode of life, he can bring millions to life, an incarnation. When one fellow gets into the suicidal mode, he can kill thousands along with his death. I am very happy about one thing. The Western countries have realized the suicide bombing groups are the most dangerous for the planet Earth, and they are coming out. That kind of groups from the planet Earth. When a person is not ready to listen to the highest truths, even if he is given, he may only get into the mode of anger. Normal human beings, when they die, they reveal the biggest lie with which they lived. Enlightened beings, when they leave the body, they reveal the biggest truth with which they lived, which they could not reveal, because the world is not ready to receive. Normal human beings, if they receive normal human beings, if they open up what they are hiding in the heart, they will lose their identity. If enlightened beings open up what they are hiding in their heart, world will lose its identity. Understand? A normal human being, whatever he is hiding in the heart, if he reveals, he will lose his identity. Enlightened being, what he is hiding in his heart, if he reveals, world will lose its identity. World is not ready to lose its identity. It will jump on him with anger. That is why all great masters, only when they leave the body, they tell the truth and leave the body. Leave the world. Now you do what you want. This is the truth. One of the greatest enlightened master happened on planet Earth, Buddha. When he was about to leave the body, the last, most powerful secret with which he was living, world was not ready to receive. He revealed. That secret is this verse. In Pali, he says, Appadipo Bhava, Atma Dipo Bhava, light unto yourself. Be a light unto yourself. Uttared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Every letter should be engraved in gold. Every letter should be engraved in the heart. Uttared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. When I leave the body, if you ask me, the most powerful, important secret with which I lived, I tell you, I will not be able to use a better word than be a light unto yourself. I will not be able to use a better word. This is the secret with which even I am living. This is the secret with which all masters are living. Raise yourself by yourself. Do not defeat yourself by yourself. I can see so many thousands of my so-called ex-disciples. Just they are not able to raise themselves by themselves. Not able to does not mean they don't have ability or capability. Just they do not want. They think this is enough. They even come to the conclusion, normal, what is wrong with normal life? That is okay. God. The last life solution I used on me before falling into the abyss of bliss and enlightenment is this word. I was into the worst depression, even tried suicide, but did not torture anybody else or kill anybody else. Just felt hopeless. Felt all doors are shut. When my even suicide attempt failed, and even in that, I was a failure. Then it became almost like a heart is being squeezed. Literally, I could feel that squeezing. Last respect on everything. Spirituality, enlightenment, masters, Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi. They were like my part of my life, blood, my very self. Lost everything. And it is like a complete darkness. Somehow, this one verse was strongly inside me. It just raised itself. Like after being beaten, if a man tries to stand up and walk, how it will feel, exactly like that. This one verse, even after being beaten by my distrust, doubt, everything, it just stood as one ray of hope in my life. Last ray of hope. It is you who need to raise yourself. If anybody else raises you, they can always put you down. It is you who need to take that last jump into the enlightenment. This was the last meal handed over to me by my master before I decided to start cooking on myself. This was the last strength with which the cosmos pushed me into my higher self. I can tell you, the moment I realized, yes, I have to raise myself. Immediately that one ray of hope becomes decision to become enlightened. When the decision opened up, there was no pattern stopping that decision in my inner space. When the decision expanded, and no pattern is there stopping the decision. Doubt or shame or guilt or attachment or fear or greed. Suddenly I could see my whole inner space is now filled with that one decision. When the decision exploded, I saw I am sitting as a Buddha. Suddenly, that explosion landed in some other plane. I thought, oh God. That's it. That's all. I tell you, whenever you have a low mood, whenever you deviate, it is you who need to raise yourself by yourself. Uttared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. All of you can do when you wake up early morning, when you rise from the bed, tell yourself, Uttared atmanatmanam, natmanam avasadayet. I have to raise myself by myself. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur. Atma, yourself, is the greatest friend of yourself, and yourself is the greatest enemy of yourself. If you raise yourself, yourself is the greatest friend of yourself. If you deceive yourself, yourself is the worst enemy of yourself. You can raise yourself by yourself. So you will be your greatest friend. I have to remember Swami Ranganathananda at this moment, and I wanted this to be on record. Even though I read Bhagavad Gita thousands of times in the young age itself, I read Chidbhavananda Swami's translation and commentary. That was one of my favorite book. In Tamil and English he wrote commentary. In Tamil, I studied his commentary at a very young age. And even when I go for examinations, I will not carry the syllabus book. I will carry only this book. If tomorrow morning examination, tonight I will be sitting on the bed and reading this book. And all my classmates will ask, hey, what happened? You are not preparing for examination? I said, no, I don't. I am preparing for the examination of life. I tell you, I don't know how to prove, but I am the one student I'll provide, ma. We'll provide. I can very safely claim this one thing. The only child, student who never had any fear of examination in modern India is me. Because the whole modern India suffers with that one syndrome, exam syndrome. Let God land on India and take away this examination. So much of suffering and fear will be reduced. I tell you, my own ashramites, if he never went to school uneducated, my one word immediately lives. But if he has gone to schools, educated, had examination, suffered the examination fear, unless I raise the level of fear by my words more than the examination fear, it does not move. He has become buffalo. So any instruction I give, I have to put it in such a way that it creates more fear in him than the examination fear. Only then he is even ready to listen. Otherwise he does not even hear. Because for certain level of fear, they become immune. They become buffaloes. Bringing them out of that fear and making them again innocent beings where you talk, they listen and things happen in their inner space is the most difficult task for me. So it is like a cotton. When it becomes cloth, to make the cloth again into cotton, how much you need to beat. That is the exact work I am doing with these so-called grown-up fellows. But kids are cotton. Directly they can remain as cotton and very light and live the life on the planet Earth like a breeze. When you live consistently, years after years with the examination fear, you become insensitive to fear and greed, and you become insensitive to life itself. Understand? Being insensitive to fear or greed is not going beyond fear or greed. Not having fear and greed is not being insensitive to fear and greed. I know some of my most favorite disciples, even they hide something from me. Whether their personal ambitions or personal lifestyle or personal thinking. When I look at them, what makes them hide something from me? I tell you, the moment you deeply love somebody, You feel like you should open up completely to the other person. Even if you are hiding something, or you have not got the chance to open up to him or her, you have a guilt. The definition of love is ability to trust and open yourself completely to the other person. I have seen when the disciples flower in Guru Bhakti, they completely open their whole life, not just past or present. They are open to the future as Master guides them. But sometimes, even those few people start hiding. Of course, what can be hidden from me? It is like a child trying to hide the candy behind the head. No, I will not show you. I am standing, I can see the hole behind which you are hiding. But when I usually not try to find what they are hiding. I only try to find why they are hiding. Because what they are hiding is immaterial for me. I am not interested in peeping Tom. I am not interested in what they are hiding. But I wanted to know sometime why they are hiding. When I see, I am able to see very clearly the pattern of fear makes hiding things as part of your life. And unfortunately, all the kids, especially Indian kids, India is suffering with this education and examination syndrome. This whole country, instead of putting their energy and efforts in creating jobs, they are putting it creating educated fools. All right, we have millions of crores of graduates. Where is jobs? How are they being utilized for the country's progress, growth? No plan. But so much of importance is given on education. Parents sell their retirement properties, what they saved for retirement, and give education to the kids. Education in India has become most expensive because the whole country is running towards education. So much of undue importance is given to education. Please understand, I am very straight. I don't know, Bharat, when will you wake up and come back to your own original, pure, inspiring education system instead of examination education system. From the age of 5, first grade, when the kids were made to live season after season after season, year after year after year, with the examination fear and the demonized teachers, terrorized question papers, and anxiety-filled days you wait for your examinations. I tell you, even after 20 years of completing your college and school, you get the dream as if you missed your examination or you failed in your examination. How many of you had this kind of dreams? God saved me. Forget about dream. Even in the daytime, even in the waking state, I never had a fear. This is the worst damage done to your consciousness. Now you are habituated to live day in and day out in that fear and hiding, hypocrisy, lying, all that becomes part of your lifestyle. A child can never be comfortable with a lie. If he tells a lie, he will never be comfortable with himself. But he is made to feel comfortable through the examination fears. Now, either he has to hide and tell lies or he can't survive. I tell you, never ever the vast, free thinking human resource of India is going to be useful till you remove the examination. And I also give you one strong, clear guarantee. China is never going to be a superpower because the whole system is based on fear. There are only two possibilities for the future. If India is not going to get out of this examination system, America will remain a superpower because it is built on greed. If India removes this fear of examination, the fear system, there is every possibility this country can be based on inspiration and it can become superpower. There are only three ways of living: based on fear, based on greed, based on inspiration. America is successful in living based on greed. And they suffered all the side effects of greed also. China is really successful in living based on fear. And they are successful in this living based on fear, but they are suffering the side effects also. India has a possibility to live on inspiration, but still it is only a possibility. If thinkers and decision makers of India can listen to this and get the next generation out of examination fear and examination pressure, bring new life into the thinking trend, thought trend, and liberate the children from the fear. See, when you don't liberate them, they become buffaloes. They are now habituated. See, the hypocrisy enters into a child the moment his examination, first his known examination result comes out. If he is not even aware, he is saved. The moment he becomes aware of his examinations and the result comes out, by the first grade or second grade, this starts happening. Sometimes in the third grade. By third grade, he is hypocrite. He is useless. He is useless for himself, for country, for humanity. Hypocritical human beings are only load. The suicide bombers waiting to explode. When hypocrisy enters into your system, you stop raising yourself by yourself. China can never be a superpower. China can never be a superpower because it is based on fear. America will remain a superpower till India gets their citizens from this examination fear syndrome. People ask me, Swamiji, you are so much against fear and greed. Why even in your Sangha you have kept some systems to frighten people, to bring fear into their mind? I tell you, just because human beings have become insensitive to instructions. See, nobody can live in my Sangha unless they are in completely, they have that Guru Bhakti and love. I don't doubt. But unfortunately, even in your love, you stop listening to the words and you are not able to live because of your insensitivity due to examination fear. The pattern built on you due to the examination fear, which has become the biggest insensitivity in your system. Due to the examination fear, the insensitivity of fear enters into your life. When you become insensitive to fear, you become insensitive to life. So if anything happens in the life, you are insensitive. You are insensitive even to the loving words I utter or the spiritual instruction I give. Fear of examination. And living with that fear, slowly, human beings become so insensitive. Their insensitivity reaches to the level of sometimes even being a criminal, even to do crimes. They don't have any problem even to commit crimes. I have to keep certain level of fear-based driving method in my Sangha just because all these guys who come and join the Sangha are already corrupted by the examination fear syndrome. Otherwise, they become insensitive to their responsibilities. They stop remembering the responsibilities they have taken up, the lifestyle they have taken up. They constantly see somebody else's weak point and justify their weak points. The other person's weak point does not justify your weak point. Even what you think as weak point in me also does not justify your weak point. You don't have any weak point that is different. Even if you think there are some weak point, that does not justify that you can also have weak points. Getting inspired from what you think as the strong points of my life is Guru Bhakti. Getting liberated from what you think as weak points of me is Atma Bhakti. If you are inspired by the strong, what you think as strong points in my life, that is Guru Bhakti. If you are liberated from what you think as weak points in my life, means not being pulled down or justify your weak points in the name of your idea of my weak points, then, only then, you have Atma Bhakti. As Bhagavan says, raise yourself by yourself. Because at one point, even your ideas about me having some weak point can come as a justification for you to remain weak. Those are the moments Guru says, be liberated from me. Be a light unto yourself. Don't justify your weaknesses based on your perceived weaknesses about me. That is the moment Guru says, be a light unto yourself. You are your friend and you are your enemy. Bhagavan uses a beautiful word. Bandhuhu. Ripuhu. Bandhu means friend who raises yourself, who stands by you to fulfill your life. Ripuhu means who destroys you, your enemy. Understand? When you are inspired by your perceived greatness about me, Guru Bhakti happens. When you justify your weakness with your perceived weaknesses about me, it is Guru Droha. But both the time, it is only your perception with which you are playing, I am untouched. I am untouched neither by your Pada Puja nor by your abusal. Pada Puja helps you to stand and raise yourself. Abusal makes you to destroy yourself by yourself. But in both, you are playing with your perception, not with me. I am untouched. Do not justify any of your weak points with your perceived weak points about me. Listen deeply into this truth and live. Elevate yourself by yourself. Get out of this being insensitive to life. Get out of that pattern. Be sensitive to every action you are doing, every action you are performing, every attitude you are building, every thought you are having is moving you either towards your mission or away from your mission. Don't think everything is, if you don't progress, you are on the neutral gear. No. Either you clutch, go forward, or you clutch, go in the reverse, or you are unclutched. There is no neutral gear in the life. Either forward gear or reverse gear. Every thought you have, every word you utter, every action you do is adding up. Only you have to raise yourself by yourself. Don't depend on your friends, the so-called seniors, whom you think have more understanding than yourself. They may be having understanding in some subject, at some dimension, not in all. In some other dimension, they may not be having complete understanding. So when you look up to them in everything, you are doomed. I have seen so many people who came to the ashram, juniors, misguided by these so-called seniors, and missed. The only reason I started this morning satsang is just for the sake of let all the people directly listen to my teachings directly from my mouth. Let it not be a different versions. Uttared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Every time I repeat this verse, it's like I'm tank refilled now. I can go on and on. Layers and layers and layers of meaning is filled in this one verse. Don't expect anybody else, somebody else to come and raise you and put you back into the enlightened lifestyle. It is you, only you can raise yourself by yourself. Only you have to raise yourself by yourself. Don't let yourself down by yourself. You have to put yourself in the enlightened lifestyle. And you have to live. Don't let yourself down by yourself. Atma. Yourself is your friend. Yourself is your enemy. It is you who need to decide whether to raise yourself or let yourself down. Too much of greed about the future. The hi-fi consumeristic lifestyle has made the next generation of India insensitive to greed. In those days, I know a family, if they get a two-wheeler, they will be contented and have one car. They will be in the heavens, in the sky, seventh heaven, cloud 9. Now, each person, if they have one car, based on the brand, they even try to come to contentment. The consumeristic hi-fi lifestyle made human beings insensitive to greed, insensitive to being content, and the cutthroat, fear-based, competitive lifestyle made human beings insensitive to fear, means insensitive to peace. Trupti and Shanti both have left your life. You become completely insensitive to Trupti and Shanti because of consumeristic and competitive lifestyle. Competitive lifestyle made you insensitive to Shanti. Consumeristic lifestyle made you insensitive to Trupti. When the Trupti and Shanti stopped happening in your life, you become insensitive to life itself. You become insensitive to the Guru. I can see how sensitive my Gurukul kids are to my words. Now I know, even if the Gurukul teachers forget, the kids won't forget to repeat this verse from today every day. I challenge, tomorrow morning all my Gurukul kids would have by-hearted this verse. 100% of them would have by-hearted this verse. Maybe they would have even finished writing 1008 times. Being sensitive to the higher truths or the life or the master has disappeared into the next generation because of consumeristic and competitive lifestyle. Even in the consumeristic competitive lifestyle, if you retain your sensitivity to life by raising yourself by yourself, you are new gen. Understand? If you are letting yourself down by yourself, you are next gen. If you are raising yourself by yourself, you are new gen. I bless you all who are sitting with us around the world at this moment. 1,110 places through Nithyananda TV and 51 places two-way video conferencing having Nayana Diksha in 286 cities in 31 countries around the world. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroga nivarakam वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् नित्यमुक्तं निर्विकल्पं ध्यानलोकप्रदीपकं वन्दे शान्तमयं बन्धं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्